Hello, welcome to another video. This is a short one of a small oil painting of this beautiful kookaburra, a daily sight around my home. This is a list of my palette, the colours that I used. And here I'm just laying down some base tones just to build up a foundation of these layers of feathers so I don't get lost in the detail. When you're looking at your reference photo, try to see past the detail and build up that foundation of colour. The blue tone will be under that stark white fuzzy fur, help make it pop. And here I'm just using a thinned out sort of grey colour for these little fuzzies and just laying in the different steps they look like. And I do go back in with that darker neutralised blue colour. I add a little bit of brown to the blue just to tone it down, and I go back in and clean up those edges. And now I'm just putting in some base tones on these other feathers using a little angled brush. Lots of purples, lots of browns, a little bit of blue. This next layer are more of a pinky tone and brown tone. A little bit of a purple tone as well. You can always dull out your colours by adding a little bit of its complementary colour. So if I wanted to tone down that purple, I could add a little bit of raw sienna to it, just a little bit to get rid of that vibrancy. And here I'm adding straight white to the edges of the feathers just to help distinguish them between the feathers around. I was just really trying to make sure it didn't look messy. Now I'm just mapping out the feathers above. Adding in a sort of a deep browny purple tone for the dark colours in between these feathers. And just playing with some colours to see what will help those white fuzzies to really pop. Using a browny pink colour. And I'm using this white here for underneath those blue iridescent looking feathers. I'm not too sure how well it worked though. I know in acrylics, if you put down a white layer first and then go over with colour, it really helps them to be vibrant, but I'm not too sure if it worked. Let me know what you think in the comments, or if you have any tricks. I went over it with a fan brush very lightly, and now I'm going in with a second pass with the colours. Moving up, putting in some of those darker tones of the fuzzies and just really building up a dense, filled with variation with the tones. change the shape of this beak every time I touched it. Underneath his beak, it was a weird mixture of pink and flesh tone and shadow, and I think I put a little bit of green in there. I was really trying to work it out. Now I'm mixing up an orange tone, and I couldn't quite get the right colour. I was mixing crimson with raw sienna, but as you'll see in a little bit later on, once I add that lemon yellow, I really got the right colour, the colour that I was looking for. Putting in that light lilac blue colour for underneath the white fur that's soon to come, and just changing the beak again. This was a mixture of phthalo blue and lemon yellow and some white. Using this little mini fan brush with a cream tone, a little bit of raw sienna, some white obviously, and a little touch of crimson. Some with little darker wispies. And you need to be careful not to muddy these colours together. So have a look at the gaps in between the other colours and then lay down your new colour in between. That way it doesn't look like you're just putting layers upon layers of wet paint that mixes together. Everything has its own lane, and if you have a small enough brush you can get in between them. Now I'm starting to put in white. I think I thinned it out a little bit. And here I'm using some thinned out lamp black colour as well. Some burnt umber. Once I mixed up that orange colour, I sort of saw where else I wanted to put it. Just have some uniformity. And now I'm going in with straight white, and I thinned it out a little bit with some linseed oil just to get a nice clean flow. And I'm being quite sparing with where I place it, because you really want it to have impact. So satisfying when you finally get up to the white layer in your paintings, if you've held back till now, and then you can finally do it, and it really does just bring it home. Trying to get in between those little spots, keep every line nice and crisp. Fixing up the edges of some of these feathers as well.